Welcome back to Horizon Survival, where we haven't recorded in a while. I'm not even sure how long. I could probably find out if I tried real hard. Hang on a sec, I'll see what I can find out. It's not terribly important. Last month, June the 27th, we did this. Not a big deal. Except that I came in, yesterday. I'm really trying to get a trader. And, well, there's news about that a bit. I did get one. I couldn't find, I sat here for a few hours. I had nothing better to do, so I rearranged the farm, planted everything we have. We still need beets and pumpkins. So, trader. What else did I do? I planted the jungle saplings, 4 of them. We had like 7. We now have 12. I planted and grew a big jungle tree. That's weird. Got some of that stuff, so we have vines handy now. We had a bunch of eggs, so I built this real quick and threw, like a dozen eggs in there until I got a chicken, which is now an adult, which is laying eggs, so that's happening. And I wandered into the nether, and there was a trader in there. Which eventually I think I killed. The problem is, since he was in there, he was invisible. So I'm not entirely certain whether I got him swatted enough, but I did, before I killed him, grab a birch sapling and grew a tree and got 2 saps. So we have, what we're missing now is actually nothing. We have all the, no, we're missing acacia. I don't know why that's there, by the way. It just is, apparently. I have money on me, so if we do get a trader, what we desperately need, what we could use is some beet seeds, I suppose, some pumpkin seeds, whatever he has. I have like a list, hang on a sec. I have, this is fairly old at this point, but let me bring this over where I can see what I'm talking about. And if this is still current, pumpkin seeds, either would work. Beet seeds, that would get us sand. I mean, we could buy sand, but I have a better plan, and then we can get acacia. That one, I think. What I desperately need is that. One of those. And not only does that fix everything, but we're stuck until we get it, is basically the problem. And I'm really wondering about that. If we treat that as an eventuality, like one day we'll get a trader who actually has that. I've got the money. It's not about that. Then we can move on. Until then, we're really kind of stuck. I mean, I do have. Let me think about this. Well, I was gonna put vines where the ladders are in the village here, but there's not much point if we can never get glass. Here's what we need to do. And incidentally, I played with this a bit too. We do have all the beds in there. I went ahead and made a whole row of farmers. So, if one gets used up, we can move on. That's why I planted the other food. I think, yeah, I've got like, the one armor guy is here on this corner. He's right, well, it should be one, but it's not. Apparently we got another one. When we get more jobs, he'll find something else to do. Just don't touch him. Got weapons guys all along here, which apart from one who had the one sword that I wound up washing off to get rid of Bane. I don't want arthropodic stuff on my sword. It doesn't hurt the sword, it's just not useful. I was opening it up so I could do something else to it, maybe. The point is, all of these guys are just new. So we'd have to throw money at them to get them unlocked, so they start wanting iron so we can really play with them, and then have a chance of getting, swords that have, like, well, looting would be awesome, and also, smite comes to mind, because most of what we're hitting with swords is dead. Like, the one exception that we might ever go after is blazes. Otherwise, we hit zombies and skeletons, and I guess creepers, if we're down in that thing. Where there's still no trader, I was hoping. So, there's that. Yeah, so the village is more or less halfway furnished in that we could, get some more vocations in there. And again, I've got a list of what we could have and what we don't want and so on. We have farmers. Butchers, if we made a chickenator, would sort of make some sense. Oh, there was something I was gonna mention about that. Fishermen, I mean, we could do, but we're not really doing a lot of fishing. Armor is, we need one armor guy, we're done with him. Tools, we have weapons, we have Fletchers, we could do. They buy sticks, so there's that. Do we have that? We don't have that, right?
Have what?
No, we don't have Fletchers, I don't think. Cartographers, I don't see a huge advantage, but we could have a couple if we wanted. Masons are similar. Masons want clay. I don't know if we really have any, but we can buy bricks until they want stone, which we do have a silk touch pickaxe. We can get that, so that's a possibility. And then he opens up and wants quartz and has, you know, whatever. Loom guy, shepherd, you know, we could dye the sheep a different color and start stocking up on whatever he wants. We have options. The one option we don't have right now is this, where we need a sugarcane to plant to get more sugarcane, to get some paper to mix with leather that we have, to make books, to mix with wood to make bookshelves, to mix with more wood to make these, so we can get librarians who will buy paper, but more importantly have glass for us. We really need glass to move on, as we're stuck without it, basically. Everything I have planned to this, in theory you could do this without the glass ever, but who wants to? I mean, it's just like, it's one of the most perfect materials for everything I would have planned, and I just need a damn trader to show up and give me one damned sugarcane is all I need. You're about to discover something, I think.
Am I?
Yeah, because I did. I assume you would too. Oh, what the hell? You remember how this was a zombie spawner?
Yeah.
And the zombies came out with like leather armor and stone swords?
Okay.
Okay, there's nothing up my sleeve, right?
Right. Uh-oh.
So apparently, whatever caused that, in general, is actually attached to the spawner, not to the things it produces. There's... What the hell was that? I got gold boots? I wasn't expecting that at all. Well, neat, I guess. So anyway, yeah, we have that. However, it helps us. It's a thing. I mean, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt too
They
much.
still give us beef?
Oh yeah.
So we're getting...
Yeah, we're getting free stone swords, which are about worth free. We're getting meat and leather, which is why we're here. And then we're getting leather armor and apparently gold armor that I wasn't expecting to hear about. Yeah, these are almost beyond useless because we can't do anything with them. I mean, you can hit things with them, but who cares? I've got a diamond sword. I can get more of those. If we unlock weapons guys, we can get yet more that might have some good stuff. The meat we can throw in here because that's what you do with meat. Unless we get a butcher, then they want, you know, they'll give us money. So I got that going on. The boots I don't much care about, so but the swords are junk. There's no benefit to owning those. They just... I'm holding something better, and you can't turn them into anything else, so then who cares? Where are we putting? Was it here? Yeah, that'll work. So yeah, if we had paper, I mean, the rest of this just happens to us. I mean, arguably, if we caught... Can you do that? Is there a way to... I'm trying to think. Can I strip this of what's on there? No. And it doesn't work in here, right? I don't think so. And I don't think the thing that actually cleans off tools... It's not the stone cutter, it's the grindstone? Is that what it is?
Grindstone.
It's way over here. I don't think it does anything to books. If we could catch 3 books... And I don't think you can make... Well, we need 2 more books, first of all. I don't think I can... Oh, I lied. I can do it. Okay, well, that does change my mind. We'd have to get a really specific... We'd have to get... Keep pulling this thing up. We'd have to get a villager who had bookshelves. So if we didn't get one, we'd have to take out the podium and try again. And we'd have to be careful. Well, I know where I'm going to put the podium, so it doesn't matter. I was thinking if we put it in the middle, it would be a problem, because if we took it out, it stood a chance of falling into the lava, ultimately. So if we go fishing a bunch and get 2 more books, which is going to be tricky granting... How did we get this book? We found it, didn't we?
I think so.
You can't get them with fishing anymore because it's a treasure item.
So we need a...
We need to build a lake and then go fishing.
Okay.
And ironically, this being lure, it would actually benefit us to merge these. Or we could, how do you, I just had that, one sec. How do you get fishermen? What do they want? Fishermen. Oh, wow, that's the easiest thing ever to build. It's not. We could get fishermen. We have, I think, string. We probably have some fish. I'm just wondering if we have everything we need to open them up to the point we could start buying fishing rods. Preferably mending, unbreaking, luring, lucky fishing rods. And then we could start catching books, wash out the books, build. Yeah, we're good. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily ever get us, I wish I hadn't done that. I don't want it here is the thing. If I open it up, I want it to be over here. Yeah, let's do that. What do we have to work with?
Well, I have some cobblestone and some spruce planks.
I wasn't really thinking material so much as real estate. Where do we want to put this thing? It's all plains, so I think we could just... We don't... Well, no, we know what the border of the safe border on the village is, right? Which is basically this path. Well, it's actually a little over from this pathway because I misbuilt this. Technically, I think our safe zone ends here. Ish. It doesn't really matter. If we just... In fact, we could just have it right the hell here. Why not? Okay, so give me some rocks.
Okay, give me a second.
Well, okay. Okay.
Oh, well.
No, I'll show you. Give me, for that matter, a bit of that. Actually, that's not nearly important. Okay. Give me a couple of sticks. Give me some more torches. That goes there. I'll just stash that here until I get to it. I don't know if it's enough. I'm just going to eyeball this, sort of, but... Well, you know, with that, damn it. No, again, I think this is technically the safe... I don't know. We'll just put it over here. I was thinking it might be handy to have it right here next. I don't know why. I think it makes sense to put it next to the... what's down there? Anything important? As long as I got a safe zone to do it.
The tiny zombie pig child has a tiny sword.
Oh, neat. I haven't seen that before.
I assume it's tiny. I don't have a sword to compare it to.
I don't know. Where am I going with this? That's probably enough. It doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be big enough to throw a rod in. Well, not the rod. Don't hit Q. But where's this kid?
Over here. He's running around between the furnace and the tree.
He's got a little mini sword, like a...
He's got a sword. It's about the size of his head, but his head
Oh, wow, it is. It totally
yeah,
is.
it's a little tiny sword.
That, incidentally, is a dino. You ever heard me complain about that?
No.
In
1841,
Richard Owen, basically a pioneer... Well, not like he was English. He wasn't American. Pioneer paleontologist. He more or less invented the science. Not entirely well, but there were, I don't know why I'm going into this history lesson, or science, whatever the hell it is. Rant. But, so, for a few hundred years, and arguably more than that, but like in a really traceable way, there had been, is that going to work? There had been everything from like big footprints, trackways, to fossilized bones discovered here and there in the world. China comes to mind. I think that's deep enough. I'm just going to lock that down like that. And they were at the time called the Pachypoda, which just means thick feet. So like pachyderm is thick skin, and podiatrist is, feet. That's... Oh, I need more rocks if I'm going to pull. I just wanted to get that in place. Pachypoda, which is a good name, I mean, basically, but it was because we had trackways and stuff. It's like, oh, these came from something with thick feet. It's like, well, aren't you inventive? I don't want that. I don't want... Is there anywhere I can stash? We probably have sticks in here because we can catch... Yeah, okay, get out. Give me, for that matter... Oh, well, look at that. Okay, bye. So, we have the Pachypoda, which are it's how we talk about these trackways that exist. Did exist, do exist, were formed once in the Mesozoic. Did I do that massively? No, I'm good. Okay. Let me just work on a perimeter here. So, the, yeah, we have the Pachypoda generally, is what we're calling them in the 19th century, up to the 19th century. And around, yeah, the 1840s, it was like 1841 officially when he did this. Oh, you know, everyone was working at the time. And it wasn't a real science, it was almost a junk science at the time. I mean, it wasn't like homeopathy, it wasn't modern junk science, it wasn't...
Phrenology.
It wasn't David Asshat Wolf talking a lot. Okay, that's fine. But it was a new science. No one was talking about it. There was archaeology at the time to an extent and whatever, but no one was talking about real prehistory and what the hell lived. Cuvier, in fact, long before Owen and Darwin and everyone else, noted that the mere fact that we knew now that things were going extinct wrecked everything about, like, theology. Because there had been, up to that point, the argument that no deity would ever create a thing and then decided to make a mistake and then undo, you know, there's no undo button for any omnipotent.
Yeah, the concept of prehistory kind of went against
everything
they thought they, you know,
oh yeah, it was total
faith
heresy.
in.
I mean, this was like Galileo noting things and whatever. Anyway, so Owen is, you know, doing his own stuff to an extent. He was almost just like a sysop. He was, you know, it's like, this is, you bring this to me and I say what it is. Okay, thanks, dick. Because his name was Richard, and he was a dick. Anyway, he was a total creatard. He was convinced that everything was created by something or other. Anyway, he, but like, you know, Gideon Mantell and, what's his name, Buckland, I can't think what his forename was right now, but ergo, like, Megalosaurus bucklandi, etc. They're bringing him all this, hey, we found that, okay, well, that's very nice. And, you know, he's basically like Indiana Jones's boss. He goes, oh, these are nice. Yeah, okay, thanks, Denham Elliott, whatever. So, and they're still generally, I mean, broadly, no one knows anything. Broadly, everyone's a 19th century moron who thinks that, you know, the phonograph record is a pretty neat idea. But they're, Mantell and hell, Mary Anning, you know, god damn it, who found the first ichthyosaur. Just as a point of fact. They're bringing him all this stuff. Buckland and whoever. Leidy, for that matter. He was very clever. He found Truodon formosus. Let me have this stuff. And so we're, you know, now we have all these new specimens of Pachypoda, except they're not, because they're not just trackways. It's like, well, what are we going to call these? Well, you know, broadly, they're the, there are a couple of different types, and we're just talking now, general Mesozoic animals under the Archosauria, which is now a term, by the way. You know, we have we have this type and we have that type, you know, broadly. No one knew about, like, Herrerasaurs back then, Styracosaurs, no one knows about them now, but that's not my point. They weren't discovered yet. We have generally, and don't ask about, like, Segosaurs and anything else, because I don't have a response to that right now. We have generally the Saurischians and the Ornithischians. Which in more colloquial terms are the, Saurischians are the lizard hips. I mean, seriously, that's what it means. Ornithischians are the bird hips, which is really ironic when you start learning more about this. Fine. So Saurischians are like, what was around at the time, Megalosaurus? Well, it doesn't really matter what was around then, it's more what ended up happening. So, Saurischians are Tyrannosaurs, Brachiosaurs, things like that. Velociraptors. I mean, we didn't get Velociraptor until like 1921 or so, whatever it was, when it was even described. 1924, maybe? I don't know, something. And then ornithischians are like Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Ankylosaurus, other stuff. The hadrosaurs in general were usually ornithischians. Well, hadrosaurs by definition were ornithischians, but so anyway, so we have the and now we're getting some real sciencey terms, right? It's like, oh, what the hell is Saurischian, and people, for all anyone, what the hell is this? It's gonna stay there forever, isn't it? It probably is. I'll fix it later. It's fine. Can I? If I update that, does it work? Not really. I don't know why that happens. Happens to everyone too. I've seen other people complain about it. So ornithischians and Saurischians under the Archosauria, and then within those you have the Theropoda and the Sauropodomorpha and the Thyreophoria. We have all of these animals. And at some point we really need like the Sinclair crowd to have a pet name for these things, right? So what are we talking about? Well, Pachypoda never really caught on with the average idiot. I'm done with that. And we need a term, basically, is the thinking here. Is that gonna update? No, because it's stupid. So anyway, Owen, in his infinity, he wasn't, he was helpful, but he was not a smart guy. I mean, he wasn't stupid, not like today people are stupid. He was what he was. Proposes, well, and we've worked out, and this is all 1841. This is almost 200 years ago now. We've concluded that we have a lot of rocks.
Yeah.
Generally, we have both of these types of animals. What the Saurischians being lizard hips is fine. Let's take a nap. Oh, you did.
Yes.
And the irony there is that it's the Saurischians with the lizard hips that are the theropods, which are the Tyrannosaurus, Velociraptors, carrier pigeon. Every bird alive today is a theropod. It's a Silurosaurian, theropodic, Saurischian, Archosaur. It's actually a reptile. So we know now that the reptile's fine. And Owen's bright idea is, hey, we'll call them terrible lizards. It's like, well, that's a bit rude. It didn't mean that. I'm going to leave that there. I haven't made a decision yet. Do we have a lot of string? We have 7. Do we have more somewhere?
I have no idea.
We have that and that.
Okay, so we have some string.
Probably have more if we had to. We had a spider thing for a minute. Anyway, so he wants to call them terrible lizards. Okay, Dick, whatever you think. Meaning great, awesome, remarkable reptiles is basically what, if you ever hear phrases like, a terrible this or something awful or whatever it is. Awful and awesome are the same word, it's just basically a different suffix. Inspiring awe. You got that? Okay. Mm-hmm. Did you just make one? Or? Mm-hmm. Okay. Catch books. And where are we on time now? We got like 7 minutes to finish my story anyway. So terrible lizards, which, let's go to Greek, because that's how we name things, right? Being Homo sapiens. What the hell? I got a fish. So he takes the Greek dinos, D-E-I-N-O-S. I mean, in Greek, they have a different alphabet, so I mean, you could argue something, but it's dinos. It's D-E-I-N-O-S. And then sauros for reptile, lizard. It just is. I mean, everyone basically knows that. Saurian, whatever. Or Saruman or something. I don't know. But I'll never understand why, evidently, because I've tried. In calling them the Dinosauria, which, by the way, to this day is not really a scientific term. It's not a real word. There's Archosaurs and the Saurischians and Ornithischians and whatever. For some idiotic reason, when he spells out dinosaur, he drops the E. So he comes up with dinosaur. And the hilarity there is that while dinos is Greek for terrible, greatness, whatever, what the hell did I just get? Okay. Not going to get the other half of that problem. Dino, as it happens, is Italian, and it means little sword. And, like Roman swords, like that kid just had 20 minutes ago.
He's still running around.
Mm-hmm. So he's Dino.
Perhaps he'll learn a lesson.
Because Dick Owen was illiterate. How am I getting all of these shells? Books.
Ooh, I got a tripwire hook thingy.
Well, that doesn't really help very much, actually.
No.
Okay. There was, in the old days, that would have been half of the battle. Get 2 of those, and you could make a fishery before we got the new version that no longer works. But yeah, so Dick Owen, misspelled dinosaur. And it's funny because I'm one of about like 7 people who will even acknowledge that that's the case. Everyone's, oh, it's okay, it's dinosaur. Stop it, you're bad at this.
Well, maybe the other people just don't fixate on it as much as you do.
It's just terrible, which is, I guess, the word for it. It's dinos is what it is. Except it's not, because it's a little sword. It's dagger. It's like Dino Martini. I mean, Dean Martin. That's what it is. That's what it means. Little sword. Because a guy, 100 and whatever the hell it was now, 81. I'm trying to think. No, 179, 180. I don't know. A long time ago, 200 years ago. For some reason, I can't subtract 1841 from 2020. I know it should be 180, but I'm trying to think if it's up or down from that. Damn it. It's 81 is closer to us. There, 41. So it's 179 years, something like. I don't care. 181 years. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It's a very long time ago when everyone's dead.
It was 1841. Horses were the fast mode of travel. Well, that are tall ships, maybe.
They didn't have trains?
In 1841, I don't think, not really, no. I think those were later. I want to say those were around 1860. But I'm not an archaeologist, I'm a paleontologist, so what do I know? I just know how to spell dinosaur.
That doesn't seem like an archaeology thing. That seems more like
it's a sociological, or yeah, it's one of those civil, social science. I don't care, who cares. It was when, Lincoln was, before he got into politics. I don't know. What do I know? Who was even president in like 1841? There would have been an election in 1840, so unless someone was re-elected, it would have been an inaugural year for someone new. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well,
it's not my concern.
I'm going to say someone who is currently dead.
Well, probably.
Since you can say that about...
Probably someone that got a tripwire, so we can make that now.
I think there are like, what, 4 living presidents? 5?
Well, are we disacknowledging brain death? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Carter's still around.
Yeah.
Nixon died in like 1994. I remember that. So yeah, Carter is actually still around. He's 97 years old or something, but he's around.
He's still building houses.
He should run for re-election. He could do that. I don't like Carter very much, but it'd be hilarious. So we got Kanye West. Yeah, and then Reagan died, Bush died. And Clinton is off on Epstein's Island or whatever. And then President Jr. still is painting or something, and then Barry is out there doing what he's doing, and now we've got the new guy.
Junior's trying to make up for everything, and I kind of respect him for that.
Well, I would say he was always at least something of a good guy, if not the most effective president, but then that Schiavo thing happened, and no, he's a twat. I don't forget things, except for how to subtract 1841 from 2020. Of
course, my current opinion on him is kind of skewed, because he suddenly doesn't seem that bad.
Yeah, well, basis for comparison.
Yeah.
It's got to be 179. Yeah, it's 179, of course it is. I don't know why my brain is bad today. I keep thinking about Dick Owen and how he can't spell, and I can't do basic subtraction. So, it's a paleontologist thing, don't ask. But if you want to talk about Troodons or velociraptors, I know those things.
So here we are playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah. And, talking about fossils.
So here we are playing Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm. There's a Woodsy doesn't talk a lot. What's his name? But Blathers.
Sometimes I forget you were as into that as I was back on the DS.
No, I wasn't. No one was ever into it as much as you were. It wasn't. The people who developed it are like, wait, people care this much? They found it. They were tracking you somehow through the. What was that? It wasn't Wi-Fi. It was.
That was what.
No, there was like a peripheral thing you could snap into have Wi-Fi. There was some other
No.
RF thing or some I don't know what the hell it was. It seems like there was a way it could connect to something, but it was more like a light gun or something. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the DS Lite had Wi-Fi because you had a thing that. Like,
well, I might be thinking of an older machine. A machine. Is it a machine? I guess it is.
There, on the Game Boy, there was an actual wire patch cable.
Right. All right, so we're out of time. It's an extinction event, so we can. I'm going to need a new fishing rod soon enough. Damn it! Oh, I bought some carrots, some golden carrots. Someone has them. Farmers, when you open them up enough, just for reference.
I got boots.
Actually, I can just dump these here. Then that's fine. Boots. Boots are great. No, they're not. So let's split. Our chicken is producing. One day we'll have what we need to get glass, and then build a chickenator and have all that. Everything else is easy to do. We have that. It's funny that glass is the one thing we don't have right now, because it's really an early game concept, generally, but in Skyblock it's just miserably impossible to get. We do have some sand. We're not totally sandless. We have a stack, but I want to be a little cautious about it, because we can buy sand from traders, but have you seen one? I mean, I got a couple of saplings once, just yesterday. So anyway, I'm going to split. And, you want a couple of torches?
Sure.
Okay. Did you get them?
Nope.
So yeah, we're gonna go. We'll go fishing. We'll try to catch at least 3 books. Well, we'll try to catch at least 2 books, but you know, if we can get a third, that lure one is actually kind of good to have. But if we can get librarians, we can just buy it later. So it's just a matter of management. Anyway, we'll get out of here as far as recording. Do that for a while, and see you next time. So, bye.